Man City just cruised Brentford. Here again, Man City just cruised Brentford. Look, if you're a rival fan, and I'm a Manchester United fan before people start getting on to me that I'm not a City fan by any means, right? But if you know this Manchester City team, this is not where it's gonna stop. I'm actually Man United records are just going to get broken left, right, and center. But if you're a Liverpool or Arsenal fan, especially, you might as well just turn this video off or listen to what I have to say. I've just watched total domination. I've just watched total annihilation. I just saw Phil Foden become a man. Like, I'm not saying he wasn't before, but mature performance, hat trick. You can't deny him. Whether you want to have a Bukayo Saka versus Phil Foden, debate up to you, because I'm not about to start comparing because I think they're different players. But look, man, smash the like button if you like this content. Subscribe if you're new. If you also like this content as well, you know where to be. But I have to talk about this from an objective point of view. And Man City totally deserved every point they just got. Away at Brentford, Brentford fans got a little bit cocky as well, in my opinion. Started singing certain things. But yeah, got battered, mate. Simple as that. I would not want to play this Manchester City team at this moment of time, but not to say there is not any criticisms from this game. And if you're a Man City fan watching this, you're going to have to take this on board as well. Brentford set up very good in the first half. They were very hard to break down. They got a nice goal as well. Very smart from Ivan Toney. Neil Mopay, very tidy finish. They could even add more. There was a couple stoppy errors. Edison looked a bit shaky today. The back four weren't really, I wouldn't say they were really in tune with one another. Vardio, a little bit suspect at times. Ake, not his best outfit. Kyle Walker having the most touches in the first half out of all the City players. Recovered well, got right away with it. And then obviously a bit of luck with Ethan Pinnock and that header just sparked everything to life for the second half. Second, like the first half, look, Man City had all the ball. They couldn't barely get anything through, and it was just a shame, really, in their perspective. But Pep Guardiola went in that that changing room and galvanized them as he usually does, and then it all went from there. You cannot knock any of those Phil Foden finishes. They were absolutely mint. Even from his first goal where he chested it down, duped the keeper, went to the right. The header was phenomenal. At the same time, absolute pinpoint. You think that's a striker's finish at that point, or a striker's type header. And then the third goal, Bob your uncle, and it is typical at this point. This guy has pretty much matched his GA of last season, by the way, and he was out for a period. I think even in the same time, I think he played last season. He had 8 assists and 15 goals in all comps, by the way, which was around 2,600 minutes. He's just got his 14th goal and 9 assists in all comps in this very game, and he's played a fair few less minutes. This is about to be his best tally. 22 goal contributions already. I believe he's on double-figure goals or getting close to that in the Premier League. I think he's on 8 assists, and I believe he's on or 9 assists even. If I'm correct, he's on about 7 goals or 8 goals. Anyways, look, correct me if I'm wrong. Either way, he's having a phenomenal season. Foden in the middle rather than the wing. He really is taking that Gundogan role, which we thought Alvarez might have played, under his own. Arriving in the box late, crashing on the box, getting what he needs done. The guy is magical, mate, and I'm glad he's an English player, because honestly, as soon as Southgate unfolds, people will stop disrespecting this guy on an international level when he starts playing the way he needs to play. If we're going to go, I will talk about the rest of Manchester City as well, because you know what? We have to talk about Manchester City as a standard. And when I say they weren't playing good, it's for a Man City standard. And I'm afraid they will potentially, more than looking likely, that they're going to, I'm scared that they're actually going to win the 4P. I looked at that Arsenal and Liverpool performance, and I thought, Arsenal could give them a good game, but they got to go to the Etihad. And, we're talking about a run of games. This is the business end of the season. So anyone that says that Man City are not looking right the same, look at them. They got their full squad back. They didn't even play John Stones. They didn't even need to play a Kovacic. They didn't even put on Doku, Grealish. Like they didn't start the game. They played pretty much attacking midfielders or strikers in all positions that were available going forward. KDB just doing KDB things. I thought we should have been tactically moved to the right. And I said that to Daps as well. And just for him to get that brilliant assist for Foden for that header, to make sure they got by a goal lead. I'm sorry, people, but this Man City team right now are looking quite scary. If I'm an Everton fan, I'm shook going to the Etihad this weekend. I think they're going to get creamed. They're going to get absolutely battered. you know, and this is what the Man City we know. There's no blips. You know, we all probably had a little bit of hope that Brentford were going to do something, but they're not. And I'm not saying Brentford have been the best outfit, because I know I'm going to get comments and say, "Oh, Cass, you know, it's only Brentford. They ain't been the greatest this season. They're missing Buemo, Vissa." I don't care. It's as simple as that. I don't actually care at this moment of time. They played good football. They had to move it quicker in the second half. They got the job done. And I think a lot of us knew that we're going to get the job done in the end. Haaland just come back on his first start. Didn't look like he was up to the boil, but he should have finished his dinner in the first half. Didn't, you know. I thought their goalkeeper Flecken, you know, he was having a brilliant game, and Ethan Pinnock ruined all of that and probably knocked his confidence. So much for Sky Sports trying to make a thing about his save percentage being one of the worst, if not the worst, in the league this season, because I thought he actually had a good game. But look, man, look, other than the shaky parts of the defense, you know, and you know, Edison giving away the ball quite cheap and in some dangerous areas as well. Rodri could have been better, should have been moving the ball a lot quicker. But other than that, yeah, you know what? Bernardo Silva took the scruff to that game. He took that second half to his. He was moving it. You know, De Bruyne picking up those vital positions. It's just the little key moments, tactical tweaks that make Pep so good and absolutely so flipping annoying, that makes me absolutely jealous to be a Man United fan and wish that I had something like this. Proper structure, right? And now City are a game in hand away from playing the exact same team at home, from going at the top of the league, and who knows if it's going to stop there. You know, they got that game at Anfield, that legendary game over the last 7-8 years, you know, that, you know, they called it the City Pool feud. We'll see about that. You know, Liverpool still got to go to Man United as well. I don't want Liverpool to win the league. I'll make it obvious. Arsenal got a lot to prove at this moment of time. And if you're an Arsenal fan, you can't knock what you're seeing for yourselves and for City. You played like Liverpool. You allowed this to happen. You know, if you won against Arsenal, we'll be having another conversation. You know, Man City, can they quite do it against this Liverpool team? But right now, it's not that conversation anymore. You know, but it's not all doom and gloom for the Liverpool fans. Obviously, you got Burnley on the weekend, and I'm pretty sure you're going to go on a game-winning run. It's not there. Arsenal, you got to go West Ham away, and then, you know, Man City's got Everton, then they got a dusty Chelsea, and then before you know it, they got Copenhagen and whatnot, and then obviously flipping Brentford to go and smash again. But the whole point is that man Philip Foden, magical star boy, growing into his own. You know, he's really mature. This game showed me how much. This season alone showed me how much. But how mature he's become, you know. I would say he's gone missing in a couple games, but most players do. So let's not get that thing twisted. Like you can ask any City fan that's, you know, or anyone that's actually spoken to me about Phil Foden. I've rated this guy for a long, long time, and he's highly rated. I've never really got onto him. You know, I just think his new role that Pep has brought him into now, as he's flourishing, it's probably his favored position. He's not really on the wing as much, you know. So this is his best position, and he's on course to having his best season. And you know what? Might have another couple trophies to go towards his name. I'm very impressed by City tonight. I'm very impressed, and this is, to them, is probably business as usual. But having their first team back, you can see how dangerous and how much options. Look at their bench that they had. I need people to really deep the bench that they had today, and go deep the bench they had 4 weeks ago. It is night and day, and yet they're still yet to bring on Stones and a danger man like Doku. That's what it is. I don't think Alvarez had his greatest game tonight. When I say greatest game, it's just because he couldn't get involved too much. That's all that was. So he had a standard procedure, you know, quite the game for his level. But other than that, Phil Foden definitely man in the match. Other than that, you know what? Yeah, he's not going to get a lot of props, right?
He's one of our own.
You know what? I'm going to give someone big props, because there was a game-changing moment for me, and he typically does this in a lot of matches. But Ruben Diaz, yeah, that block changed the game. Absolutely changed it. It could have went 2-0 and it didn't. So yeah, you know what? And I wouldn't say he had his best performance either. You know, Mopé was winding him up a little bit, but for his standard there and then, that's when things just changed. Other than that, KDB standard game, you know, help my FP out, please. Please get me a couple more assists. I captained you, mate. But yeah, man, look, I felt like City didn't even need to go up a gear. They went in gear 2, where 1 in the first half wasn't great, went into gear 2 and then cruised after that. And that's that, man. That's bog standard. But guys, please smash the like button. Please subscribe if you're new, and don't forget. And there'll be more content like this. I'll try to be objective. I'm not going to overgas it. I'm not going to undergas it. This is just my thoughts, and that's that. Simple as.